Hi, this is Dr. Will Tuttle. I'm the author of The World Peace Diet, and I'd like to talk a little bit about the consequences of animal agriculture and the way forward for us right now in this very difficult, I think, and challenging time we're in with more conflict, social justice issues, health issues, environmental issues. And I think the most important thing is to understand that there is a positive way forward. As we sow, so shall we reap. That's the basic universal principle at play here in the world today. So the underlying idea is that all of us have been born into a society that has at its core a spinning fury that we're supposed to not pay attention to, which is animal agriculture, herding animals, confining billions of cows and pigs and chickens and turkeys, ducks, geese, fishes, other animals, and killing them for food on a massive scale. And this sowing of the seeds of violence to innocent and vulnerable creatures not only harms them, it boomerangs back on us in countless ways, environmentally devastating, culturally very harmful, for our physical health very harmful, for our psychological health and for our spiritual health and for our ethical health. All these dimensions get harmed by animal agriculture. So the main positive message to understand is that each one of us as an individual can do our best to question the official narrative in our society that promotes abuse of animals for food and other products, to bring our life as much as possible into alignment with a vegan way of living, and, and then to go beyond that to embodying vegan values. What are vegan values? Veganism is love, essentially. It's love and freedom and respect and kindness and abundance and gratitude and respect for ourselves, self-respect also. And another word I think that really helps us to understand what veganism is the ancient Sanskrit word ahimsa, which means non-violence. And the idea is that as soon as I harm another for my own benefit, I harm myself actually more than I harm them, because we create then a whole way of being and way of relating to the world that will come back and cause us terrible suffering. And plus it creates more suffering in the world in general. People who are harmed then go on to harm others very often. So the whole idea is each one of us as a radiating center of power, that we can let our life shine forth as a beacon of kindness and love and caring into the world. And when we do that, we begin to be a force for healing and awakening in our society. One of the main ideas in the World Peace Diet is that whatever problem we see in the world, we are doing that to animals. So we see various diseases like osteoporosis and obesity and cancer. These we're inflicting on animals. We try to make them as obese as possible, and we sow the seeds of cancer and osteoporosis by the hyper confinement and the toxic food and so forth, and the fear and stress. We break their families apart, and we find, again, social cohesion getting harmed and our families breaking up. So again, the idea is to see that what we're doing to animals is coming back to us, and that also when we're eating food, we're not only eating foods if it's from animal origins that is toxic in the sense that it has pesticide, herbicide, and fungicide residues and saturated fat and cholesterol and animal protein, which is acidifying and just hard for our bodies to really deal with effectively. We're also eating attitudes. So we're eating foods that are harmful to our body, but we're eating attitudes that are harmful to ourselves as individuals and to our society. Some of those attitudes, the most obvious ones, are we're eating an attitude of reductionism. The basic underlying story and narrative in animal agriculture is that certain beings are not beings. They're just things. We buy and sell them by the pound as matter. We buy, that's the most gross form of materialism, is to see another being as something you buy and sell by the pound. And when we do that for 10,000 years, like we've been doing, as I discuss, then pretty soon, especially nowadays, we have created a situation where we ourselves become the commodities. We ourselves become the livestock. We ourselves become, unfortunately, bought and sold in many ways. We have more trafficking of humans and more slavery probably than ever in history today, for example. We have oppressive governmental forces getting stronger all the time to take away our freedom, to make us hide behind social distancing and masking and so forth. All these things, the fear that's developing, we're causing tremendous fear in animals, and we find more fear for ourselves. So this reducing beings to objects, this way of living, of dominating other beings. Another basic attitude in animal agriculture is privilege and elitism. The subtext of every meal is that certain beings are superior, other beings are inferior, and it's fine for the superior beings to dominate and exploit the inferior beings. So if we're eating that in our society, everyone is eating that, how is it possible for us not to have injustice and inequality, which we see increasing at this time? The domination of the sacred feminine is a crucial aspect. The animal agriculture is based not on just killing and confining animals, but on impregnating them against their will and stealing their babies. So it's based on sexual violence. And we're committing that sexual violence, we're eating that sexual violence, we're feeding it to our children on a massive scale. Billions of animals every year are going through this sexual violence, and we're causing it ourselves. So the idea is we're sowing these seeds, and this really reduces, I think, our connection with our sacred feminine inner wisdom, which I refer to in the World Peace Diet as Sophia. Sophia is the inner wisdom that shines in all of us, both men and women. I think women, of course, have a special connection with Sophia because they give birth to babies. That love, that maternal love, that loves and protects no matter what. But men can also connect with Sophia as well, that the love to protect and nurture other living beings. And so animal agriculture, of course, is a force that reduces and suppresses Sophia very powerfully. We couldn't live like we're living if Sophia was actually functioning. We couldn't be killing animals and eating their flesh and eating terror and fear and pain and despair. We wouldn't. Sophia would rebel. That wouldn't happen. So Sophia is suppressed. So what we're really calling for now is the resurrection of Sophia, the resurrection of the sacred feminine wisdom within humanity, to love and nurture and respect all living beings. This is what veganism actually is, ahimsa, nonviolence towards others. So I really appreciate the various movements that are unfolding in the world today to help share the vegan values of kindness and respect for animals and for nature and for children and for each other and for the sacred feminine, and doing that through music and through art, through literature, through food, through social organizations, through political organizations, economic organizations, however we can do that to help share and spread this message. So I'd like to just move now for the second part of this and the last part into a short meditation and music, because I think in many ways the words and the ideas that can open doorways of understanding to us can be nurtured by the arts. And behind me you see a few of Madeline's paintings. I'm so grateful. I always say the smartest thing I ever did, I went vegan 40 years ago, besides going vegan, was marrying Madeline. And it's so wonderful to know the beauty of another human being and the beauty of our possibilities in relationship to connect and find fulfillment and joy in relationship. So this is something we all have as a possibility. We can have radiant physical health and connect also with a radiant psychological and spiritual health where we are fulfilling a purpose on this earth that brings forth joy at a very deep level. That we don't need any joy from any outer thing. Joy is our true nature when we're living our life authentically. So this is a short meditation. I'm sitting here at the piano. I'd like to just invite everyone to take a minute or two now and relax into this present moment. The only holy moment is right now. With every exhalation, just letting go into this moment. The beauty of our own true nature. Breathing and relaxing into this moment. And coming to our true home, where we live always. Our true home has 4 aspects: love, compassion, joy, peace. So with every inhalation now, let's engender in our heart the feeling of love, the feeling of wanting others to be happy and to have all of the causes of happiness, a feeling of benevolence and goodwill. And with every exhalation, we allow this feeling of love and kindness to radiate from our heart, filling the whole world with love. Breathing and radiating love. And sending this love to everyone. We exclude no one from our love. Breathing and radiating love. And sending this feeling of love now especially to ourself, to the beautiful and unique expression of life that we are. Abiding in our true home, abiding in love. And now with every inhalation we engender in our heart the feeling of compassion, the feeling of yearning that others be free from suffering and the causes of suffering, and also the yearning to act, to relieve their suffering. This is the great compassion. So now with every exhalation, we radiate compassion, filling the whole world with compassion. Knowing that compassion encircles the earth for all living beings. Abiding in our true home, abiding in compassion, breathing and radiating compassion. And now with every inhalation we engender in our heart the feeling of joy. This is the great joy that needs no reasons in the outer world. The joy of being. And so with every exhalation, we allow this feeling of joy to overflow from our heart. Radiating in ever-expanding spheres of light, filling the whole world with the truth of joy. Abiding in our true home, abiding in joy. And with every inhalation now, we engender in our heart the feeling of peace. This is the great peace that comes naturally when our mind is filled with love, compassion, and joy. We are at peace. Whatever happens in the outer world, we are at peace. Abiding in peace, abiding in harmony. And now we allow peace to flow forth from every cell in our being with every exhalation, filling the whole world with peace and harmony. And we see the whole earth now bathed in the light of peace. The beautiful earth. Abiding in our true home, abiding in love, abiding in compassion, abiding in joy, abiding in peace. Love, compassion, joy, and peace. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. May all beings be at peace. And may we all continue working together with love and creativity to build a more enlightened society, a world that cares for everyone, for all expressions of life. Through the power and the presence of the eternal consciousness, which is our true nature and the source of all life, we give thanks, knowing that we are part of an awakening of human consciousness, that we may fulfill our purpose on this earth. This is the adventure that we are on together. May each one of us as individuals awaken to our part of the great song of awakening. And so it is. Thank you, everyone, for your efforts, and together we can build a world of peace and harmony. Giving freedom and peace and harmony to those who are at our mercy, we become worthy of that ourselves. Please go forth and multiply this message. Thank you.